One for Systemic Change, sponsored by the DeBruce Foundation. I'm Angie Hare with United We, and it is my pleasure to introduce our featured speaker, Patti Dobrowolski. Patti is the author of 9 Tips to Up Your Creative Genius and Drawing Solutions, How Visual Goal Setting Will Change Your Life. She is the CEO of Up Your Creative Genius, a consulting firm that uses visuals and creative processes to help companies and individuals around the world accelerate growth and change. Patti is a 3-time TEDx speaker, and her talks have been viewed by more than 6 million people around the world. Patti's drawing process has transformed large and small businesses and taken individuals from goal setters to goal getters. Her strategic illustrations grace the walls of Nike, Microsoft, Starbucks, and the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, just to name a few. Please welcome Patti Dobrowolski.
Oh, thank you so much, Angie. Woo, everybody. I am so excited to be here. Wasn't that amazing? I just love the whole new branding piece for the Women's Foundation, United We. I love that. And I loved what Diane had to say, and I'll scatter a few of those things. I might smatter them too, you never know. So I want to ask you a question. How many of you have ever had a big dream for your life? You tried to make it happen, and then something got in the way. COVID, or, maybe your relationship, or, your parents, or a job ended. How many of you have ever made a list at the beginning of the year with your goals on it, and then you forgot about that list? And then you found it later, like under the couch, and it was all wrinkled and sticky. This is what happens to us. We understand that we want to have something happen, and we aren't quite sure how to get there. Well, today, I'm going to show you a really simple process that you can use anytime that you want to make a change, and it's going to accelerate it happening. I know it's true because it happened to me, and I'll tell you a story about it. But first, I want to introduce you to the process itself. It's called Draw Your Future with Agilities. Now, my normal process is Draw Your Future, but when I met the DeBruce Foundation and their agilities, I realized, oh my God, that adds a whole piece of this that we need. We need to understand what we're good at, what our agilities are, what our strengths are, so that we can leverage those to that future and step into it. So at their website, which they're going to put it in the chat for you, agilities.org, you can take your agilities profile. And everybody that's on the call today has taken their agilities profile there, so they know what their agilities are. But 3 of the agilities that I think we need during this time of what's happening in the chaos of the world are innovation, selling and communicating, and managing. I don't know about you, but managing is a really big thing. You got to manage your time, and you have to manage how you get what you want. So we're going to be using those agilities today. And I want you to think about, even though you might not be familiar with the agilities, which are all along the bottom of the map behind me, if you aren't sure about those 10 agilities, which are found in every single job, I might add, if you think about yourself, think about the agilities that you have, the strengths you have. And the first thing I want you to do is to put it in the chat. We're going to use our chat box, and we're going to find out what kind of strengths you have as we go forward. And I have a fantastic panel to help us today. We're going to run this process. I'm going to help and lead you through it, but I'm going to use my fantastic panel to do it. I'm going to demonstrate with them. You'll still be adding into the chat. So I want to first let them introduce themselves to you. So I'm going to start with Stacia, who might still be in her car. Stacia, will you introduce yourself to us?
Hi, so I am still in my car. My name is Stacia. I'm planning to go into medicine.
Okay, we kind of heard part of that, but I know we'll find out more about Stacia. So let's pass it over to Alex. Alex, will you introduce yourself? Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Patti. I'm super excited to be here, guys. My name's Alex Oleson, and I'm a senior. I'm originally from Kansas City, but I'm currently in St. Louis at St. Louis University. I'm studying political science and minoring in economics and urban poverty studies. And I've been a part of the DeBruce Foundation, working with Youth Voice with the DeBruce Career Corps now for the past over 2 years. So it's awesome to be a part of this conversation and to help more people understand their agilities.
Thank you. All right, let's see, Hannah.
Hello, thank you. My name is Hannah Hall. I am one of the founding members of the DeBruce Career Corps, and I am originally from Kansas City, now located in Denver, working as a case manager at the Colorado Coalition for the Homeless.
Fantastic. Hannah, will you turn your mic up just a little bit for us? Thank you. Okay, all right. Sherri.
I'm Sherri Wattenbarger. I'm a lawyer here in Kansas City, and I'm a past board chair of the Women's Foundation. I've been involved with the Women's Foundation for over 20 years, and I'm very pleased to be with you all today.
Oh, thanks so much. And of course, Sly.
Hi, I'm Sly James. I am former mayor of Kansas City, 2011 to 2019, co-founder of Wickham James with my partner, Joni, and it's a pleasure to be here today.
You're awesome, all of you. Thank you so much for being kind of the guinea pigs of the event. I love that. So even though they're going to be doing the process, what I'd like to suggest is that all of you right now get a piece of paper and a pen, because we're going to be drawing your future. Now, before you get too freaked out about drawing and you fall into that 98% my drawing skills suck part, I'm going to be showing you how to draw. So I'll give you a tutorial about it. But first, I want to tell you a little story and just about how I came up with the process. Very simply, I've had multiple careers. I was an actor. By a fluke, I got on Broadway. And I felt the reason was I held a picture in my mind and then it came to be. And so I became obsessed with how does envisioning your future help you. Later, I became a drama therapist, and I realized there's a lot of drama in the world, but I wasn't sure I wanted to be a therapist. It was too dramatic for me. So what was I going to do next? And a friend of mine said, you're never going to make money as a therapist because you always tell people what to do. So why don't you go into business? Because in business, they love it. So I did. But I still wanted to make my mark on the world. And I wasn't sure how until a guy walked into a meeting that I was in that was very disruptive. And he went to the front and he drew a picture of the vision for the team I was with. And I thought, that's it. If you add an inner picture with an outer picture, you accelerate yourself making change. As a matter of fact, the research shows that if you draw a picture of the future and you allow it to yourself to attach yourself to that future you, and you take action on it and you daydream it, you increase your chances of success by 46%. Now, if only 1 people out of 10 makes change in the world, you want to be that 1 person. And I want to show you how you can get there. Are you ready? Everybody ready? Okay. Let's do some drawing first. Is all of my team, you're all ready? Take yourself off mute so I can get you going. Now, the first thing is, I want you to, you see I've drawn this template. And so if you haven't already, I want you to draw this template that's behind me. It can be rough, or you can print out the template, which is, there's a link to it in the chat, as well as a link to me doing the video, so that if you couldn't see me do it now, you'll be able to see it later, okay? So if you think, oh, somebody should see that draw your future thing, go to the DeBruce Foundation, agilities.org, and you can do it there. All right, but let's break through that belief we have that we can't draw. So everybody get their pen, and I want you to draw these simple shapes with me on a piece of paper. Ready? Here we go. I want you to draw a square, a triangle, a circle, a period, a comma, and a line. Just those basic shapes are in everything that's around us. Everything that we see, everything that's in the world that you're in right now in COVID is made out of these shapes. And so just know that it's easier to draw it if you just look at it. And so let's look at this, and let's turn that box into a building by putting some 7s on it. And then a little doorway. There, and now we're gonna put it on the ground. And this triangle, let's turn it into the house that we always drew when we were young. You know, with the doorway and the window. Mine looks kind of like a dwarf house. So put a little chimney on it, smoke coming out. And then this, let's turn it into, what can we turn it into, Sly?
Sun, moon.
All right, perfect. Let's do that. So make it a sun. And then I like to turn this into an emoticon, really. I put an emoticon in the center. So draw your favorite emoticon in the center. This is how I feel about COVID right now. And I might put some eyes in there too. Okay, cool. Now, the hardest thing for people to draw are people. And so I'm going to show you cheater's way, because when I first started to draw, I didn't know how. I just saw somebody do it and I thought, I'm going to do that. That person's making a lot of money drawing at the front of the room. I'm going to do that. So I taught myself how to draw people. And what I did was I would draw their hair first. Didn't you think when you watched Diane, you know, like she had her hair thing going on. So I was particularly interested in her hair. So you draw the hair first, and then you just put a chin on them. And then an eye is just a parentheses on its side with a dot. So we're going to give some eyes, and then a nose, and then a big smile. And then if you want to add a body on, you just put some parentheses. And then the best part about this is you want to look at the drawing you just did, and audibly, out loud, I want you to say, that is fantastic. Say it with me.
That's fantastic.
That is
Fantastic. You see, what we're doing is we're rewriting the neural pathway that believes you can't draw. Nice job. I love it. Okay, all right, I'm getting rid of this now because we got to go on to drawing our future. All right, so first things first, I asked you what your strength was. So tell me, I want you to put your strength up here in this left side because it's what we're going to build on. So tell me, Alex, what's one of your agilities? What's one of your agilities from that profile you took, your top three?
So my first is actually selling and communicating.
Selling and communicating. All right, I love it. And Sly, what was yours?
Same, selling and communicating.
Okay, Hannah, how about you?
My top was innovating.
Okay, innovating. I love it. Okay, anybody else want to share theirs?
Leading.
What was it?
Leading.
Leading. That's the one that you're putting in there. I love it. Okay, good. Because managing is one of them too. All right, excellent. Okay, I didn't get pardon me?
Managing is it?
Managing. All right, cool. So managing. So now we've got our strengths. So now we're going to move into drawing our future. And the way we do that is first we look at where we are. And we're going to look at how things are going in your world right now and actually how you're serving as well. And then we're going to look at where you want to be a year from today. And then we're going to close the gap with the 3 bold steps. So anybody out there, as you begin to build your map, and I'm going to help you, put in the chat a few of these things. And then Ann Zimmerman's, she's kind of like the voice of God out there. She's going to give me a few of yours so I can add them to this map, this composite map that I'm going to make at the front. So on the left side, in this current reality, I want you to draw and write, use words and pictures to tell me what your life is like right now. And I would say start with what's going well and then move into what's challenging. So what's going well in your world? And by the way, I want to know how many of you are analytical? Just raise your hand. Even if you're in your own home, raise your hand if you're analytical. Okay, good. This is not list making. We are not about to make a list. What I want you to do is scatter it around the page. So you write a word here, word here, word here. So, you know, like one of the things that you might have like an awesome job, but the truth is right now you're working from home and that it's very distracting. So that might be something that's happening with some challenges in it. So just, you can see, I just drew a very simple picture of a person inside that box of Zoom. So draw and write what's going well and what's challenging. I love it. And then I'm going to get a few of these things from my panelists. And as soon as you get some of yours, I want you to add them to the chat. Add the things in that are going well in your world. So Hannah, what's one thing that you have that's going well?
The new job that I'm in as a case manager.
Okay, fantastic. And tell me, what do you like about it?
I really like that it's an active job. I'm able to work directly with the clients and the people that I'm impacting. And I have a very encouraging team that I work with.
Okay, fantastic. So you see, Hannah's already pulled out some of the things that align with really our talk today, which is about how can you serve and how can the power of one spread that out to create systemic change, right? I love that. Okay, so making an impact. All right, Alex, what's one thing that's going well?
For me, I think one thing that's like a positive every day is, well, obviously I'm still a college student, and I'm actually taking some in-person classes, and our university has done a really good job of people have been responsible and not stopping stopping the spread of COVID. So we haven't had any outbreaks here. And I just thought of that because of the Zoom screen you shared. Unfortunately, some of our classes have been online, but I think it's just nice that I still get to see, students. Some of my classes are in person. So that's been a good thing.
That's fantastic. And I see somebody in the chat is working from home. So yeah, working from home, it can be an asset in some cases. And in other cases, if you have siblings or kids, or in my case, dogs that bark in the background, it becomes very exciting. What would you add? Sherri, what's going well?
I'm still finding ways to mentor students and young lawyers, and that's going well.
All right, mentoring. I love it. And Sly, what would you add?
Work on policy.
Policy, thank you. Okay, now somebody tell me some things that aren't going well. What's challenging for you in this environment? What are you struggling with?
Something that is challenging, even though it's exciting, is being in a new city. Part of, I think, systemic change is being really involved in your community and knowing and being connected to the needs of your community. So I'm kind of having to reestablish a lot of that.
Yeah, like it's hard. You moved to Denver, right? So
Yeah.
you haven't really connected with people there. What else would someone say? Stacia, what's hard for you?
The organization, because it's like everything's just everywhere, and it's harder for you to learn a lot of things in a short period of time.
And what are you doing for work?
Me? Oh, I'm working at a skate place, a skate city.
Thank you. Okay, good. So it's all these things all over the place. Okay. Anything anyone else want to add to what's challenging?
Trying to spread a book, release a book without being able to travel or do the in-person things that are necessary.
Yeah, fantastic. What's your book on?
It is a book on policy, the opportunity agenda, a bold democratic plan to grow the middle class.
Yeah, thank you. I love that. All right, have we got anything there in the chat that we might want to add to our map?
Patti, what about just dealing with sort of the emotional turmoil right now in the world?
Yeah, fantastic. That's Anne. Yeah, the emotional turmoil. I don't know about you, but it's very up and down. So that really makes it hard to stay balanced and to know really, what's your role in this? Like, how can you serve? I don't know about you, but I served a lot in my community with my church. I did a lot of things, outreach, and met with youth groups, etc. And it was hard for me to transition at first. And then I realized, okay, I'm just going to get on Zoom and I'm going to do it that way. And we're going to meet like that. But it's difficult if you really are an extrovert. How many of you in this group right now are extroverts? So you would prefer to be seeing people face to face. Look at that. How many people? And I bet you Stacia would raise her hand too. Am I right, Stacia?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, good. So balance of work and home, knowing how to turn off the computer. Yes. Okay, I love that. All right. So now we've got where you are, which is fantastic. And we also have some things that are challenging for you in this environment. And what's true about your brain is it's always going to focus on what's not going well. No matter how awesome these things are, how many awards you got and everything. And even if you listen to Diane, she talked about how, it can go up and down. And so part of our brain is always worried about what's going to happen next. When's the other shoe going to drop? So we have to change our chemistry. And a very simple way to do it is to go like this. Just do this with me. I'm doing the infinity symbol in the air. Believe it or not, doing this is going to change your body chemistry because it integrates your brain. And then another thing you can do is just to jump up and down like this. Do that. Wherever you are, I want you to just run in place. I want you to wave your arms up. I want you to, yeah, you're jogging in your Zoom chair. There you go. And take a deep breath in and let it out. And now, really, all right, Stacia's in her house. I love it. Yay, woo! I'm glad to see you. Now, we're going to actually step into the future. So that was perfect timing. She showed up in this golden glow. So let's imagine that it's a year from today, in the best case scenario. And I want you to start dreaming about what that would be like. Now, your critic inside is going to be like, well, we're in COVID. Yeah, how's everything going to happen? But I want you to put your critic in the corner and just use your imagination to imagine the best possible things for yourself in your world. And I often start with qualities and characteristics that I would like I maybe want to be more creative, or I want to network, or I want to feel more value, or I might want a seat at the table somewhere. I want to make more money, or so I want some abundance in my world. So I want you to capture like 3 qualities or characteristics and put some of them in the chat so I can add them up here. And then we'll move on to specifics. So get a few qualities. So tell me, Stacia, what would be one quality in your desired new reality you want, one feeling you want to have?
Confidence.
Pardon me, say it again.
Confidence.
Confidence. Thank you so much. Even in that opening song, you know, they were singing about, I want to see you be brave. You know, and I really took that to heart because I think that's one of the hardest things to do is to be brave. What else would you put over here, Hannah?
Connection.
Thank you. All right, let's see, what else? Sherri, what would you put over here in the right side?
Feeling that I'm making a meaningful impact.
Okay, thank you. Sly?
Access.
Say it one more time.
Access.
Access, thank you. And you see, they just started off with these qualities. Alex, anything you want to add?
Yeah, I think this kind of, mine relates to like the emotional, like the emotions of right now. I want to know that, you know, I'm doing something to help promote justice.
I love it. All right, so now I think, and that becomes specific. And so now I want you to put some things that you want to see yourself doing or saying or making or being on that right side. Like maybe you want to get yourself on the Women's Foundation board, or maybe you want to volunteer for something in your community. Maybe you want to get involved with a Black Lives Matter in your area, or you want to do something for gender equality in whatever arena you're in. So put something there that matters to you. And that still can be like, I want a better job, or I want a better boss, or I want to, you know, get my voice heard. So put a few things as I add a few pictures here. And then also be sure to put some things in the chat for us if you would. And Anne, if you see anything, that would be awesome.
Just feeling more empowered and important. There's also a great comment about empathy. And
About empathy.
Making empathy glamorous.
I love that.
I see Izzy put in there, I want security.
Security. Thank you.
Somebody else said that they want to be put in a position where they can change their community, make a change in their community.
Making change. I think this meaningful impact is something that I think many of us feel. We feel like we got to do something because the way things are is not the way that we envision them to be. And it's not the way we want them to be. And so we are the ones at the center of that circle that really, that power of one is us. Every moment. I was in just a workshop. I was drawing through the night for a company, and they were doing an onboarding for their new interns. And one of the things that they said is, you know, that whole company is formed on DQ, the decency quotient. And that to me is a beautiful thing, that you are the one who stands up and says, yes, we've got to do something about that. No, you can't say that in this room. We're going to make change happen. You have to lead the way. Okay, true mental stability, self-clarity. Thank you.
Also, this idea of learning new skills.
Learning new skills. Thank you, Anne. All right. So if you're doing this on your life, you also want to think about the one thing that I loved about the agilities is that you can come up with when you take the assessment, you get your top 3. But what's beautiful is your agilities change over time, just like you do. And you can have an agility that you aspire to, something that you really want to have. And so some of the agilities are innovating, developing others, judging and estimating, inspecting or managing, operating objects, organizing, selling and communicating, serving and caring, and working with information. So if you think about you, what agility would you like to develop in yourself in this year that we can put up there in that mountaintop? What would you say, Stacia? What agility do you want?
Agility that I want is organization. No matter how much organization I try with, I just need to get more of it.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you. Alex, what do you want? What's your agility envy?
I want to just work on my managing skills.
Are you talking about managing time, other people?
I think both.
Okay, cool. Sly, what would be a agility you want to develop?
I'd say perhaps I need to continue to try to work with information.
Yeah, working with information is like, how do you get data and how can you be effective by communicating with other people as well? Awesome. Thank you. Anybody else want to add anything? Sherri, want to add something, or Hannah?
Yeah, I would like to work on my agilities that have to do with being creative and innovative.
Thank you. Hannah, how about you?
One that I want to work on is selling and communicating. That's one that always ranks pretty low for me, but stands out as something that, you know, we all have ideas, and it's whether or not we can convince someone else and bring that idea to other people.
Yeah, fantastic. I love that. And the other thing I was thinking about too, Hannah, is that I have people in Denver. So you contact me afterwards and I'll help you get connected there. And then you can sell and communicate your way into it. You take it for the next part. All right. Now, here's what we've got so far. We've got where we are. We have where we want to be a year from today. And what's true is if you focus on this left side and you choose one thing, it helps your brain highlight it. So choose something that you've drawn on the right side of your picture that you really, really, really want, that you really want that thing to happen, and just put a flash around it. Like if you want confidence or you want to make a meaningful impact, put a flash around it, some color around it, some highlight around it. The way the brain works with information and images like this is it has something called the reticular activating system, RAS. And it's kind of like, you know how you're searching for some kind of shirt online and then Google feeds you like ad after ad after ad about shirts and where you can buy them, where they're on sale. That's how your brain is. So when you feed it information and you continue to feed it, it will start to pull to you the things that you want. And that's part of what the RAS does. And so you got to get it to work for you, your brain, because this is your future now. It doesn't know the difference between past, present, and future. This is it now. Now, so we got to close that gap with 3 bold steps. And it's much easier than you think, the 3 bold steps. It's not that big of a deal. All you have to do is look at the left side and then look at the right side. And then what I suggest is that you close your eyes for a second and you ask yourself, and who you're asking is this creative genius that's waiting to give you information. Ask, what are the 3 boldest things I could do to be that awesome change agent in the world, to get that seat at the table, to step into that vision with both feet? What could I do? And as soon as you get something, write it down. Don't censor it, write it down. And in all the years I've been doing this process with millions of people, these things fall into categories. The first one is big and bold. Like if you're dissatisfied with your job over here and you have total freedom over here, that is probably quit your job. The second one is, so this is a bold step, might scare you. The second one is tactical. It's some tactic. Maybe I need to put together a marketing plan, or maybe I need to have a conversation with my boss. Maybe I need to extend myself to the Women's Foundation or a foundation in my community to get myself into a position where I can help. So it's tactical. And the third is a mindset shift, some way in which you need to change the way you're thinking. You know, in this world, we often carry with us some limiting beliefs that are holding us back. Like, I'm not valuable, or I'm not smart enough, or like this. And they interfere with our ability to jump over here. And if you can get yourself to make a mindset shift, like just do it, or be courageous, or, you know, be brave, put that on your map so that it's something that you activate and that you take action on, it will change things. So let's hear what some of your bold steps are, and feel free to put those in the chat. I'd love to see what your bold steps are. What's one of your bold steps? Who wants to tell me one?
I'll tell you one.
Okay.
I'm going to reach out to 3 community leaders that I don't know personally yet, to talk to them about issues that are important to our community.
Yeah, fantastic. All right. So this is around, I put reach out because I think that can be everything. Network with people also, but you're talking about really connect with people in the community around issues that matter. But you may, in this arena of my audience, you maybe, or our audience, you may be needing to reach out to people just to get support, or you may be needing to reach out so that you can get a job. Just know that all that stands for all of those things. What else? Hannah, what were you going to say?
My bold step is to have an active role in local government.
I'm going to put that here too, because reaching out, that's it. You're going to take action. You're going to be active in local government. I wonder if I should put it on the map. I think I will. You see, I'm just going to change local government. Get involved. Fantastic. What would you say, Stacia? What's one of your bold steps?
One of my bold steps that I put is don't look for the one, be the one. So be the one, be the leader, be the person that people look up to.
Ah, I love that. That is how I want to write be the one, because that's really has to do with our theme of what we've got. And then do we have any bold steps coming in here? A video blog could help others who want women in STEM. I love that. All right, so that's reaching out. That's a blog, right? What do you got in there, Sly?
write, speak, advocate.
Fantastic.
Another one from the chat is find a mentor, which works great with our theme of reach out.
Yeah, very good. Get a mentor. You know, one of the biggest things you can do for yourself during this time is to find a mentor, somebody who's willing. And remember, you know, the rule about mentoring is you want to date the mentor, not date in that way, but don't just choose the first person that comes your way. Interview them. Make sure they're a good fit for you, because you deserve the best mentor, not just anybody that you can randomly pull, right?
Right.
Okay, cool.
Right, Patti, I would just add to that, just be bold. If there's somebody in the community you want to mentor you, ask them and tell them why. Tell them why, because I will tell you that's one of the best ways to get a mentor, is telling them why you want them for a mentor.
Fantastic. All right, so somebody wrote positive, be positive. Yeah, very good. And be look about being good. Okay, so now anybody who hasn't shared yet, Alex, did you tell me what your bold step was?
No, I think just like throughout all this chaos, just making sure to take care of yourself.
Yeah,
I feel like that can be really important. Like your own
I'm
mental
going to
health.
actually put that. I think that's a thing that should be in our vision, is that we have self-care here, because it's so incredibly intense right now that you have to do something to prayer, meditate, walk, run, do something to calm down your nervous system, and, you know, turn off the news so that you're not watching that all the time, letting it influence you and impact you and then inform you and reshape your brain. You want to have your own brain. So, you know, turn it off if you can. So now what we have is, I was going to say one other thing, because I read this thing about these two women who were fans of Beyonce's, and Beyonce would say, you know, don't just scroll. So meaning, look at what's the information that's coming in, take it to heart, but don't just scroll through things. Oh yeah, this, right? Okay, good. Somebody asked today if you're working from home or living from work. They aren't the same thing. Yeah, good. Embrace the DVF comment. Yeah, turn your thing into your strengths. Yeah, your flaws into your strengths. Well, I think too, we often focus on our flaws, but we need to focus on our strengths. Don't worry about your flaws. They'll go away. They'll drop by the wayside as you build your strengths. All right, so now we have where we are, where we're going to be, and we have these 3 bold steps and a very messy map up here, which I'm going to full color for you, of course. But I want to just suggest that you take these 3 bold steps that you have on your map and build them into a little action plan, and think about what is one thing you could do right away to bring this into reality. What's one action you could take on one of these steps, like right when you get off this in this Zoom experience? What can you do right away? Who can you call, and what can you take and make an impact with? Because these are the ways that we make change. These are the ways we become the 1 person in 10 to make change. Is that if you draw a picture of your future, put it somewhere you can see every day, and then take small actions on it, then you get 46% better chance of success. That's what I want. 46% better chance for you. Now, I just love that all of you were here today to share this with me. And thank you for sharing what your experience was. Would you hold up your pictures so we can all see them? Hold them up so we can see them. Let's take a screenshot of that, of course. We got to do that. That's fantastic. Hey, Alex, I didn't see you put your picture up. Oh my gosh. So that's fantastic. All right. That's so good. Okay, good. Well, listen, for everyone here, just be that agent of change. You can do this. This is your reality now. But know that no matter what happens in the world, if you ever feel at loss and you're not sure what to do, my suggestion is get a piece of paper and a pen, draw a picture, and make a map back home to you. Thank you. I'll send it back over to you, Angie. Oops, you're on mute. There you go.
Wow, thank you so much, Patti, for sharing your creative genius. And thank you to Sherri, Sly, Stacia, Hannah, and Alex for sharing your future goals with us. And thank you again to the DeBruce Foundation for making this really inspiring session possible. On behalf of the United We team, I want to thank all of our guests for attending today's event. Your involvement and generous contributions make our mission to advance all women's economic and civic leadership possible. It's not too late still for you to invest in change for women. You probably have the number memorized now, but please text United We 2020 to 44321. We also invite you to remain engaged in our research, advocacy, and civic leadership efforts throughout the year. You can join our email list at united-we.org, our new website, and also follow us on social media at United We Empower. Finally, mark your calendars for next year's event. It happens to be the same date, September 29th, 2021. And as we approach the November election, we encourage you to vote for who you please, but please vote. Thank you so much for uniting with us to make a better future for all, and have a wonderful evening.
Thanks, everybody. You're awesome. You're fantastic.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Patti.
Thank you.
Thank you, Patti.
Thank you. Thanks, Anne.
I'm not sure if we're still.
I don't think we're live anymore. Hopefully not.